I'm a hip hop artist first and foremost. I don't like to say that I'm a rapper.
Because you won the showcase.
That's right. I'm in the winner's seat right now.
Yes, I love that.
I just looked at him and I said, I could do that. And he was like, no, you can't. And I was like, bet, let's do it. I never lost it. That's how I feel.
It's like riding a bike, you know?
And then like 6 months later, I think, was when I was just like, oh, I could write a musical. And so there was a battle like 2 weeks later, and I threw myself into it, and I got murdered. I got massacred.
I'm distraught, I'm discouraged and displaced. I'm filled with disdain, distaste, disgrace. This ain't a distract.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Spin the Record, where we have conversations that hit the right note so you can hear it, feel it, and remember it. My name is Marcella, and today we have Burban Street in the house.
Hey, everyone. Hi.
What's
Nice to see everyone.
What's up? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, actually.
I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. So let's just dive right into it. So Burban Street actually won the How You Holding Up showcase.
That's right.
Hosted by Brooklyn Boone, and that's why you're here, because you won the showcase.
That's right. I'm in the winner's seat right now.
Yes, I love that. Do you know that I was in that? I was in the one before.
I did not know that.
And I won first place.
So there we go.
So this is the winner's circle right here.
Yeah, full circle. I love that.
I love that too. So so let's just dive right into everything. So you are what kind of music do you do? Do you rap? Do you sing? What do you do?
So I am a hip hop artist.
Okay.
I do rap. I don't really sing.
Okay.
I can sing, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't on tracks, but like I do in the shower.
Oh,
or like
fair enough.
or like in the car.
Okay.
But I'm a hip hop artist first and foremost. I don't like to say that I'm a rapper. I do like to say hip hop artist because I do feel like my music especially it's a focus on the artistry and the lyricism more than the swagger and the braggadocio.
Okay. All right, so you're not like about all the chains and all that stuff.
I have like the one gold necklace that you get like at your bar mitzvah. Like that's the necklace that I've been rocking. And
you're loyal to that one.
Yeah, just that one.
Oh, my necklace is out too. I like having my necklace out.
Oh,
there you go. See, I got mine. I didn't get it at a bar mitzvah. But
you get like the one skinny like appropriate chain, like actual jewelry as opposed to like a statement jewelry.
Yeah, like those gaudy ones. I mean, whatever. To each his own. Whatever.
Yeah. But that's not for me.
It's not for you, and at least you know that.
Yeah.
All right, so you're a hip hop artist. How long have you been doing music?
That's a loaded question, right? Because it's like I said, I'm not a singer, but like I used to sing.
Okay.
So I started singing and writing lyrics for a band when I was in high school.
Okay.
And because I grew up like classic rock, punk rock, alternative rock of like the late '90s. So like bands like Stained and like the pop punk bands of like the late '90s, early 2000s, like Newfound Glory and the Starting Line, bands like that. And I was in a band and I sang and I wrote lyrics because I didn't know how to play the guitar. I didn't know how to play the drums, but I knew that I had like these stories that I wanted to tell, these words that I wanted to get in front of people. And when I got to college, it was really hard to find people that were like in this exact same type of music that I had the same kind of influences that I did and wanted to be in a band like that I was in high school. And so I just kind of stopped like pursuing music, but I continued to write and everything. Okay. And then one of my fraternity brothers was like, why don't you like hip hop? And I was like, well, I can't really relate to any of the music. It's just like that. A lot of like the late '90s, early 2000s, there was a very big gangster rap was like very prevalent. So like 50 Cent was a big artist, like Ludacris was a big artist. It's not really gangster rap, but like Ludacris was rapping about things that like I couldn't really relate to. Like 50 Cent
like
talking
hoes?
About things. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I mean, but I mean that's so like I wasn't out there like that. I had like a girlfriend. I didn't have like hoes in different area codes. I had one girl, down the street. That was it. And so. But also like just a lot of that just I couldn't really relate to it. And so he got me into like early Nas and like artists like Immortal Technique and people that were like really telling stories.
Yes.
That
you just said Immortal Technique. It like took me back to like the moment I heard the one song, like his most popular song.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
And I just felt like, oh, this could be a different genre where I'm not relying on other people. Like I don't need a guitarist, I don't need a bass player. I just need like one person to make beats, and I could do this. And
Just solve the problem for you at that time also.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah,
find nobody.
exactly. So I didn't have to rely on anybody else. I could kind of do it more like be a solo artist and still continue to write. And then one night we had we used to have these double features on campus on Friday nights that they would play. And it just so happened they were back to back. I saw Hustle and Flow and 8 Mile.
Okay.
And I come out of the movie theater and I just looked at him and I said, I could do that. And he was like, no, you can't. And I was like, bet, let's do it. And so there was a battle like 2 weeks later and I threw myself into it and I got murdered. I got massacred. I had no idea.
I thought you were gonna give me a happy story. Like,
no, not the first time. No, I got massacred. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, freestyling. Like, what is this or whatever? I'm just gonna try to rhyme, And I didn't practice, did nothing. I had no idea what I was doing.
You were just like, I could fucking do it, whatever.
But I was like, I feel like I could do it. And the next month rolls around, and I got to the semifinals, and then the following month I'm in the finals, and from there I was like, I don't need to do this anymore. I know that I can do it. I don't need to battle. I want to write songs.
Okay.
And so I kind of gave up battling and I just started writing songs. And that was 15 years ago. And I've just been doing it ever since. And I took like a 10-year hiatus to do the whole like ghetto white collar career and like have a kid and buy a house track. And really for like the last 9-10 months, I've been back out there really like pursuing it hard, and I've just been writing and creating and performing.
And look at that, and then you in first place, so it's like you still got it.
Yeah,
you still got it.
I never lost it. That's how I feel.
It's like riding a bike,
Exactly.
So then like when you were on that trajectory, being a family man, you didn't write at all. You didn't do anything. Like...
So this is how it all kind of came about. So I. This genre itself does not lend itself to like 6 p.m. start, 10 p.m. finish, like home at a normal hour, get up the next morning and have it, have a normal life. And so I kind of stopped performing as aggressively as I had been performing the last like 8 or 9 months, but I stopped performing aggressively. And after a while, like it just became too much to like try to get out there and like to drag people to shows and stuff and I thought, well, what can I do with this talent and this like urge I have to continue to write. And so I originally started working on like a musical, like a hip hop musical, the same way that Hamilton, it was just like a completely rap
like
musical.
You were writing it.
Yeah, I was going to write a musical. And then from there, like whole songs were starting to be formed. And I was like, well, now I need a producer because it's like I just have lyrics and like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, the only way to meet somebody is to like get back out there and start performing again. And so really, I kind of put myself back out there with the express purpose of like trying to further the musical. So I was going to like any open mic. I was going to comedy open mics. I was going to any open mic just to like get in front of people and try to meet people and network and everything. And then in March or April of 2025, I was at an open mic and I just did like one of my other songs, like a non-musical song. And with like, I think I did it a cappella, and people in the crowd were like, you should be doing this. And I was like, okay, well then that's what I'm going to do. And so that's really the last 8 or 9 months. It's just been kind of full throttle for me.
Okay. So it was like a confirmation when you went back out and you started doing your thing again, like, okay, let me put this on hold. I mean, it's crazy how things happen because it's not like the musical is not gonna happen.
Oh no, I still write for that too in my spare time. So I just put an album out on February 27th, Burban Street and Chill, and it's not like I didn't work on the musical while I was also working on this, and it's not like I'm also not working on songs while I was working on the musical. Like I'm already thinking about the next album. I'm already thinking about continually putting out music because I just feel like it never really stops, and anything can inspire me. Any person can inspire me. Any event can inspire me. The ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, whatever. There's a song on my album that just came out. It's called What Do You Want From Me? And it was literally inspired from a showcase I did in September where I just felt like the audience didn't respond at all. And I was like, what do you want from me? The whole drive home. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? And I was like, that's a song. And so yeah, that's just kind of how it has gone.
So that's I always like to ask my guests. I was like, my people. You're my people now. Welcome to the party.
All right.
I always like to ask like your writing style because you obviously can create out of nothing. From what you said, sometimes you make full songs without the beat. God, I have so many questions for you right now because like, you got the musical. I want to know what the musical's about. You started writing for the musical. Like you said, it's something like Hamilton. So is it like a history story? Is it like...
So I'm Hamiltoning my life. I'm taking my life story from like the moment I decided, like, so the conversation I had with my boys about like, maybe I'm going to be a battle rapper. Like from that's like the opening scene of the musical essentially is like, me and some of my friends hanging out, and we're trying to figure out what kind of music to listen to. And one of my friends is like, oh, we should listen to rock music. And like one of my friends is like, we should listen to rap music. And like one of my friends is like, we should listen to country music. And everyone's like, no. And then they're like, well, Steven, what do you think? And I was like, I don't know. And then like this voice inside of me is like, you should like, we should make this push for rap. And then I was like, oh, like not only should we listen to rap, but like I'm gonna rap. And they're like, no way. And like the next song is like, okay, well then like what's your rap name gonna be? And so it's like the story of like coming up with Burban Street, and then it just like progresses through there, and then it just like ends. The idea in my head is that like it ends like with me trying to figure out, well, like what do I do now? And like it's like it becomes very meta, and it's like the end is me deciding to write the musical that literally was just performed.
That's cool. So it's like full circle.
Exactly. So that's the plan.
Okay, so the musical is basically like almost like a biography.
Yeah.
Almost. At least your start into music and how it led all that. But it doesn't seem like that was your start into music, because you were already into music before from high school.
Right.
How did the musical, like, what was the idea of the musical?
So I do have like some kind of musical theater background. I've always been a fan of musicals.
Mm-hmm.
I think even in middle school, they used to take us to the high school, like to see the musical as like a field trip. And I enjoyed like the movie musicals as well. So like Chicago is one of my favorite movies of all time, the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Okay.
and
do you like Pitch Perfect and shit like that?
Pitch Perfect is great. I had a couple of fraternity brothers that were in the a cappella groups in college, and
cool.
I just like that style of music. I'm old enough to remember Rockapella, which was the group that did the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego theme song.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I did not expect you to get that reference. So very well done. Yeah, no, exactly. Nailed it. Yeah. But like Hairspray, and then the remake of Hairspray, like all of the movie musicals. And then I really enjoyed like seeing them live. Like I saw Wicked before it was a movie, and then I was in a musical in my senior year of high school. I was in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. I just had a lot of fun doing that. I did Little Shop of Horrors when one summer when I was at sleepaway camp. Yeah. And so I've always enjoyed it as an art form. Okay. And then when Hamilton came out, it was the first time that I was really exposed to Lin-Manuel Miranda and this idea of like a completely sung through musical. There's no dialogue in Hamilton. It's literally sung through the entire way.
Or rapped.
And yeah, or rapped. And it was just kind of like this validation of hip hop as a medium for musicals to be portrayed through. And there's just so much versatility in it. It's not like it's like boom bap the whole way through, or it's not like trap the whole way through. You know, there's so many varieties of songs. And just the way that he melds voices together, and the layers, and then like all of the madrigals and stuff where people are singing on top of each other.
Really
yeah,
cool the way that was put together. Like,
yeah,
I didn't see that probably until like, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago, because my boyfriend is really into like plays and shit like that and musicals. I wouldn't say really into it, but he knows he's into it. And one time he's like, "Oh, have you ever seen Hamilton?" I'm like, "No." So I saw it with him, and I fell asleep on a couple times because I'm pretty bad with movies. But I was so impressed. I was like I don't know what I thought it was or what, but I was just like, man, this is really cool stuff.
I think I avoided because it was so hyped when it first came out that I was like, there's no way this could possibly be good. It's like the inner hipster in me was like, there's no way. If everyone loves it, it's got to be terrible. It's like nobody knows what they're talking about. There's no way this could possibly be any good. And then it like swept the Tonys. And it was like getting more and more, and like had critical acclaim in addition to just like the random fanboys. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, what is this about? And then it was on Disney Plus finally. Like they recorded it and put it on Disney Plus, and I was like, I got to see this. And I like from moment one, I was just like
locked in.
Yeah,
mind blown. Like, oh my god, I could do something like this. Like,
I wasn't even thinking that at the time. I was just so blown away by not just the music, but just like the storytelling arc of it, and how there are 3 or 4 different people that are one character in the first act that then they come back as a second character in the second act.
Oh my god,
you
made me want to watch it again.
Yeah, it's
like I didn't lock in when I saw it.
Yeah, and just like the dancing and everything about it, and I was just like, okay. And then like 6 months later, I think was when I was just like, oh, I could write a musical. That's kind of when it all came together. The first time I saw it, I was really just like, I was just geeking out for like a solid 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah, and then I was like obsessing over the songs and like listening to them a lot, and yeah.
And you know, it's crazy when you talk about musicals, there's a lot of people say they don't like Hamilton. I'm like, why not? Why not? Like,
yeah, it's like,
whatever.
Are you just not a fan of good art? Then I guess like, yeah, I can't take anything you say seriously after that.
Right.
So people are like, I don't like pizza. Like what?
Oh man,
yeah,
I don't
like
pizza.
tacos. Like what? Like what?
No,
yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just instantly start judging them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what before? Let's go back a little bit before high school. Because you said you always loved music. Was there somebody in your family, like were you musically inclined in your family?
So, musical talent does run in my family. My great grandfather came over from Eastern Europe. He was a violinist. He had 4 children. 3 of them were musicians. 2 of them played the violin. 1 of them played the saxophone. One of them, the one who played the saxophone, really played kind of everything. He was in like a wedding band.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the side. That wasn't like his main job. He was an accountant, but like he just played weddings
that was
on
his
the
passion.
weekend. Yeah, but he played weddings on the weekends, and he did it till he was like 70.
Wow.
And my mom can play the piano, but like she's not like a creator on the piano. She can play the sheet music that's in front of her on the piano.
Music. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a whole different language right there. Like reading music is like, wow.
It is. And then my brother is probably a more talented singer than I. Like I said, I can sing, but I'm not great at it.
Okay. You could be.
I sing. You know what it is? I do sing references for the artists that I collaborate with.
Okay.
So like when I put somebody else on a hook for one of my songs, I do sing them how I want it to go, and then I let them like real big boy voice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
would you say they're real big boy voice?
They're big boy voice. I let them big boy voice it, but I'm like I kind of want it to sound like this, and then like I like you, like yeah, you do your thing. But my mom has always been exposing us to music from like pretty much birth. My mom, it was a disco queen of like the 70s, like loved disco, but then like I grew up on like Genesis and Phil Collins and like the music of the like Gloria Estefan in the 80s.
Okay.
Like yeah. And then in the 90s, when we were like old enough to like listen to our own music, like 94.9 Zeta was a radio station down here that was like just like all of the big like alternative rock station. And then
wow, I remember that. Like I didn't listen to it, but I remember that station being one.
Yeah, but South Florida like gives you an opportunity to just be exposed to all kinds of different music. And so I was just like anything and everything that I could get my hands on, I was listening to. And
you grew up here?
Yeah, I grew up in Coral Springs. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, sorry, keep going. I was just curious.
No, yeah. And so, you know, it became like I would listen to whatever my mom was listening to. And my mom to this day is still like whatever's on the radio, she's a fan of. She loves pop music, whatever like top 40 stuff is on, she's a big fan of. But then she still has like her like Rod Stewart to her is like, you know, and Bruce Springsteen are like 2 of her.
Who sings She's Got Away? Is that Rod Stewart? No, that's not Rod Stewart. That's Billy Joel. Is that Billy Joel?
Yeah,
oh my
Billy
gosh.
Joel. Yeah.
Forget that. I'll scratch that out. No, I'm just kidding.
But Billy Joel, Elton John, like all of those just major like, you know, and even Michael Jackson, like the big like, you know, Madonna, like the
pioneers of their eras.
Not just but like the greats. They're like really the greatest of all time. Like, you know, they're on people's Mount Rushmores, like those kinds of artists. And so I have rhythm obviously, but I can't play the drums. Okay. And I'm just like too awkward to like play the guitar or the piano.
I have terrible coordination. You know, so like I understand.
Yeah, but I've always loved music and live music especially. So I, you know, and then, you know, when I got the chance to get to work with some guys in high school that were like, one guy was like, I play the guitar, and one guy was like, I play the drums, one guy was like, I play. I'm like, all right.
So you guys just put a band together?
And I was just kind of like, all right, well, I can't do any of those things, but I know that I can write lyrics. So like, if I can kind of sort of sing, you guys want to do it? And they were like, yeah, let's make a band. And
so how did you know that you could write lyrics? Like, when did you start doing that?
So this is a funny story.
Okay, we like funny stories.
Yeah.
And you're also somewhat of a comedian too, so we got to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. This it's like 3rd grade, and I'm going to this summer camp and I have this like really inappropriate crush on this much older female counselor who's like riding the
Oh
bus
my
with us.
God, I'm already laughing.
Yeah, and well, because it's like you know how like when you're 8 or whatever, you don't like your crushes are not appropriate. Like, people have crushes on their moms when they're 8 years
Yeah,
old.
I was
right?
gonna say like I had a crush on my dad. I told my dad, "Oh, can we get married?" Like,
Yeah, so I was like, oh, do you like music? Because it's like, what 8-year-old like knows how to have a conversation? So I was like, oh, do you like music? And then she's like, of course I like music. And I was like, well, who's someone you like or whatever? And she's like, oh, like I like this guy Weird Al Yankovic. And I was like, okay. So like 8 years old, mom like take me to Borders or Barnes and Nobles or whatever it was, like wherever you got music at the time, and I bought like a cassette tape. I'm
fucking
so old.
Weird Al.
Yeah.
The weirdest.
I bought a Weird Al cassette tape, and I like listened to it, and I was like, oh, he's just taking songs that exist and changing the words and making funny things. Like I'm like, I bet maybe I could do that. So like a big song at the time was "Achy Breaky Heart" by Billy Ray Cyrus, and I was like, what if it would be like a really funny thing where it's like the achy breaky baby or whatever, and it's like a woman like telling her husband that like she's pregnant, but like he doesn't want to have the baby, but like she's like, oh, we're having this baby, and he's
And
like,
this is what you're thinking of at 8 years old?
I just thought that would be like that was like the lyric that popped into my head when I was hearing the song, and I was like, don't tell my wife, like my very pregnant wife, like I don't want to have this baby or whatever. Like that was just like at 8, I was like, well that fits. And so I like brought it to the bus the next day to like show her, and she was like, this is really good. And I was like, okay. And then I just kind of like, I didn't know what to do with that. And I just kind of like put it in my pocket, and that was, then I was like 12, and I was listening to like all of that like really emo, like emotional, like angry, like hate your parents, alternative rock music. And I was like, well, I want to feel that. So like, I was just like, well, let me see what I can do. And like, I just started like trying to express myself lyrically, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And then by the time I was like 16, I was in this band, and I was like, I have all these songs, and they were like, well, let's hear them. And they were like, some of these are pretty good. And I was like, all right.
And then the songs that you made, like you didn't have beats on them. It was just literal lyrics.
So, I mean, those songs, I was just kind of like writing and like trying to like rhyme and figure out like how, like what story I wanted to tell or what emotion I wanted to convey, because it wasn't really hip hop at the time, so there wasn't like a beat. I was just like in my head, like this is how it sounds or whatever. I just had words. I didn't even have, I kind of would change how I sang it based on whatever my guitar players would come up with.
Okay. So you had something in your head, right?
Yeah.
And then once you got in the band, then you guys made the songs, like made the music around the songs, and you kind of would just adapt.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. That's really cool. So but I assume you started making like newer songs also as you...
Yeah. So yeah, then sometimes somebody would come in and be like, oh, I just wrote this great riff. Like, what do we got? And I was like, I don't know. Give me an hour. Let's play it over and over again, and let's see what I got. We would like record things, by like on a 4-track, and then I would bring home the cassette, and I would just listen to it on repeat until the cassette tape burned apart, and then I was
cool.
like, yeah, and then I would try to write to that.
So you are a lyricist before anything else.
I would 100%
songwriter.
identify myself, yes, as a songwriter / lyricist before any other.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So then you got into acting. You did the whole play thing.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're like a full multifaceted artist.
I really can't dance. I'm gonna throw.
Okay,
yeah, I'm not
fair.
a triple threat. I know all of the basic white boy moves. I can 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. If the dance has a name, I can do it.
Okay.
Right. Like if there's a music video that teaches me how to Dougie, whatever.
A
Yeah, I
tutorial.
can. I can do that. But like I'm just like and I enjoy doing it, but I know I don't look good doing it.
I hear you. Yeah. I used to think I could dance, but I used to also drink a lot. So I think that had a big
it turns out I just like I know how to like I'm just comfortable with my body when I'm drunk. It's not really dancing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now like when I try to do shit, I'm just like, ugh, that's not right.
Yeah. I'll definitely have nights where I was like, oh, I was killing it on the floor, and then someone will show me a video and they were like, you were not doing any of the things that you thought you were doing. And I was like,
our perception is twisted.
I was like, but I felt good doing it. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
I was
for
smiling
sure.
when I was doing it.
Yeah. All right, well, whatever. Can't dance. That's one thing you can't have it all, right?
That's
All right, so whatever. All right, so you I'm trying to go through the transition of your life. So all right, so you got into acting. You discovered a love for musicals.
Yeah.
Which obviously went into you being a lyricist. You're like, oh shit, I could do this myself.
Yeah.
I would say from what you said that like the spark for the whole musical came from watching Hamilton, or at least that was the seed that was planted, right?
Yes, that was definitely the seed. I don't think it ever occurred to me to write a musical. I thought at some point in time, maybe I would write a book
Okay.
You know, I wrote for the newspaper in college, and then
Okay.
I wrote for a lifestyle magazine, like as a side job, really, like,
Okay.
but it was just an excuse to like interview famous people.
Fair. All right.
For a couple of years out of college, just like on the side for extra scratch. And so I always thought like I have this writing talent, even if I'm not writing songs, I could, so I thought maybe I would write a book. And then when I saw the musical, when I saw Hamilton, it was really just like, nope, that's what
So
we're
something
doing.
called you and you listened to it, which
Yeah.
is most important, that you actually listen to it. So I'm excited. I want to hear your musical whenever you do.
Yeah.
I know it's a work in progress. You know, we might not hear it till we're like fucking 70 or whatever, but
I hope it's like not that, but yeah, I do, it's hard because right now, as Burban Street is really taking off, and as the momentum is growing, it's kind of hard. It's hard not to shift my writing priority to
to
that.
who you are now.
Yeah.
And as an artist, we're constantly transitioning and becoming something else, reinventing ourselves. So were you always Burban Street before your 10-year hiatus?
Yeah, so I never rapped under a different name.
Okay.
I joked at one point in time, like, what am I gonna be, like MC, like first name? Like, I'm not gonna do that. And so the conversation was really short. Like I threw out like 3 or 4 like random like puns or plays on words, and one of my fraternity brothers was just like, no man, you're from the suburbs, we're going to college in New Orleans, it's just Suburban Street with an apostrophe, we're just gonna spell it different, call it Burban Street. Everyone's gonna freak out. It makes so much sense. There's literally no reason for you to talk about any other names. And I was just like, yeah,
Okay.
no, that, yep, 100%, you're right. And
Well,
that's
it made it easy for you.
Yeah, no,
Well, shout out to that friend. Are you still friends with him?
I am not.
Oh, but that sucks. All right. Well, at least he gave you a cool name.
Yeah, no, I'll always be forever grateful to that person. But like that person, they went on a very different path.
All right, they're a piece of shit. It's fine.
I wouldn't. It's,
Okay, I'm sorry. Just kidding.
No, you know what it is? We naturally fell out of touch, and then when I did attempt to like relook that person up, they had gone in a completely different direction lifestyle wise.
Okay.
And it was for the best.
Let me not get back
Yeah.
over there. I hear you. Okay, fair. All right, so during your 10-year hiatus, what did you do like for work?
I am and still have been an accountant. I've always been an accountant.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, you did mention you love numbers.
Yeah, I know. I was a mathlete ever since 5th grade. Shout out to BCCTM, the Broward County Council of Teachers of Mathematics. It was like my first math competition in 5th grade. I've always been a numbers guy. Like math just makes sense to me, and
I love numbers too.
Yeah, so
I used to play with my numbers. Like 8 is cool, 9 is 8's boyfriend, and like I would do stupid shit like that.
Oh, I don't know that I ever got really into that, but just like all the applications of mathematics was fascinating for me. It was like, oh, like, yeah, addition and multiplication is cool, but like, did you know that you can also like figure out how fast something is going or how tall something is based on that? Like all of that was really cool to me. And so from there, when originally I got to college, I thought I was going to be an architect. I wanted to go to school to do that. And I ended up failing history of architecture the same semester that I got an A in financial accounting. Because like my thought process was like, if I'm going to be an architect, I want to run my own firm, I should get a business minor.
I hear you.
And that semester I was like, oh no, I'm just in the wrong major. I don't love architecture as much as I thought I do, but I love accounting. So like I just like threw myself into that.
Okay.
And then I've been an accountant since college.
All right, well, that's good to know. I was just curious. That's why I asked. And before you took your 10-year hiatus, because this is like, like the BC and the AD,
that's really what it feels like.
Right?
That really is what it feels like.
All right, so before break, you were an artist. Were you performing like you are now?
So the before time, it was it felt like a rocket ship that then hit like a ceiling that I didn't really know how to break through.
Okay.
What had happened was I put out like a 4-track mixtape. Like I produced the songs myself, like in Fruity Loops. I put out 4 tracks, and I was just like, I don't know how to find places to perform. I'm like 23 years old. I don't know promoters. I don't know producers. I don't know what to do. And it just so happened that one night, one of my fraternity brothers, we were out for his birthday. I see this guy standing in front of the bar. He's wearing a shirt that says like, "Here we go, entertainment." I was like, "Oh, are you a record label?" Just starting a conversation. He's like, "No, I'm a promoter company." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Oh, because I'm a rapper." He's like, "No, you're not." So one of my boys started like just putting down a beatbox. I
Mhm.
rapped one of the songs, and he was just like,
Oh shit, you're a rapper.
he was like, all right, well, next week or whatever, I'm doing a show at the House of Blues, and like Currency's gonna be there, and DJ Raj Smooth is gonna be on the ones and twos. Like, you should just come. And I was like, okay. And so I just started going to like this guy's events, and I started meeting some people, and in September of 2009, I ended up like I opened for Lil Wayne in front of like 2,000 people at
That's crazy as
at the
shit.
auditorium at my college. I came back down to South Florida, and I did a thing where like I opened for Crazy Bone at one point at some venue in like West Palm. But then,
And that's
like,
all from you performing and people, word of mouth.
yeah, and I didn't know what to do with
Mhm.
that. I wasn't like emotionally mature enough to pursue it. I didn't know, I wasn't all in,
Mhm.
and I had no direction, and I just like right after that I was like, well, like nothing's happening here. Like, what, how do I get my songs on the radio? How do I meet producers? How do I I didn't know what to do, and I had no team, and
It was all you.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I had no friend group. I had no, I wasn't like networking with other artists. I wasn't doing any of the things that I'm doing now. And from there, I was just like, all right, well, I just kind of feel stuck. And I was like, I'm just gonna put this in my back pocket for a hot minute and like focus on my job and like focus on like that avenue of my life. And that's kind of where the break came in.
Okay, so it wasn't because you had a kid that you stopped.
No.
So you stopped before.
My kid is 5. The break is, the break was really like 2013,
Okay.
give or take.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you decided on your own that you wanted to take a break, not because you weren't good, just because, like you said, you didn't know.
I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have any of the knowledge that I have now. I didn't have and it was also like kind of like the beginning of like the SoundCloud and YouTube
Mhm.
era, and like I didn't like have a social media presence. I didn't know how to like promote myself that way. I didn't know. I
Mhm.
really didn't know, and
But now you know.
I feel like I have a better
Now,
idea.
okay.
Yeah.
So what are you doing differently now? Because now, first of all, you started going out performing just to look for producers for your project, for your musical.
So that's kind of what put me out there, was just like I was like, well, like I know it doesn't matter how good the lyrics of this musical are, if the music isn't good, I'm never gonna get anywhere. And so like I got to at least start like talking to producers. So like that's what brought me back out. But then people's reaction to my songs was like, maybe I put the musical on hold and I try to make Burban Street a thing again.
Mhm.
And so from there, I met some other artists. They put me on to a couple of different producers. From there, I got a lot of the beats that I've been using for my songs. I put out a mixtape in August of last year, and then I put out the album Burban Street and Chill in February of this year. And like all of those beats came from like networking and all of that.
But that'll happen pretty fast because you say you just basically started last year, sometime in March, and then you already put a mixtape. Well, obviously you're a writer, so you're writing quickly and you're constantly making stuff. Put out a mixtape in August, and now in February you released an album.
Yeah. So the mixtape in August was 5 songs, and 2 of them were written like before, and the songs were, I just felt like they were good enough to carry.
Okay, timeless.
Yeah, exactly. And then the album that came out is 12 songs, and those are all, with one exception, those are all written kind of in the time between like the mixtape and now. There were a couple of songs that the mixtape, there's no collabs on it, right? Because I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I didn't know, like, I didn't want to just like, hey, do you want to write a song together with somebody else? Because like, what if they're not my style?
No, you had your vision. You knew exactly what you wanted to do.
And so on this album, all of the collabs, I was just like, I'm gonna write the hook and just have somebody else sing it. I just got inspired by going to all these open mics and these showcases by all these other fantastic singers, and I was like, okay, if I ask all of these like different local singers that all have different styles to sing different styles of hooks for these songs, like that's the idea. It's like Burban Street and Chill. So like the first half of the album is the Burban Street half. Those are the solo tracks, and the second half are all the collabs. Like that's the end chill. It's more of like it's a different vibe. And the idea behind it was I'm just gonna like kind of control everything, and like I'm gonna write the whole part for them. And so as I was kind of discovering the the tenor of everybody's voices, like what's your strength? Like, oh, like you're great at high notes, or oh,
Alright,
you're
so
a great
this
R&B
song's for
singer.
you,
Like,
this song's for
well,
you.
no, it made me want to write the song to maximize their talent. So
okay,
like,
okay.
and so I actually thought that the album was done at one point, and then I got thrown into a different, like a 24 artists in the studio, like on 24 different tracks, like massive collaboration project. And I met another artist, and I heard her sing, and I was like, nope, the album's not done. And I immediately went home, and I was like, I gotta write another song because I gotta get her voice on the album. And that's kind of how it's been going on. And I think this next album that I'm already like 3 songs into, not recorded, but like in the writing process, the idea behind this one is it's like real songs about real people. So like this is more so like I'm inspired by the subject matter, and then like who do I think can
fit that,
can help me like tell that story or express that emotion.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So it's like it's a concept behind your art also, like,
yes.
Well, at least for this new album. I mean, it seems like there's a concept behind everything.
I try to say that everything I do is with intention. Like even the track order on the album, like there's intention behind it. Like there's some kind of Easter egg behind like every song's like number. There's something behind it. So. Okay,
that's super cool. I'm so like interested, like, because you seem like super organized, you know, like obviously you're an accountant, you know, so like I'm super interested in. I want to go back and hear your album, the one that you just released. What's it called?
It's called Burban Street and Chill.
Burban Street, that's right. My bad.
No, it's okay.
All right, and then do you have an idea what this next one's going to be called?
Yeah, so I think the next one's going to be called Real Songs for Real People.
Okay.
Because it's just, like I said, I think the certain people that I've met and or certain types of people that I've met. So like some songs might be about like a specific person, and some some tracks might be about like a type of person, but that you like kind of run into or that everybody has an experience with.
Okay, you know, I feel like this is gonna sound kind of fucked up, but like, don't you feel, well, whether you do or you don't, I feel like when we meet people, I feel like they have a lot of recycled personalities, and that's why like, a lot of people can relate to like, oh, I met somebody like this and this and this, you know, like, oh yeah, or you start to like meet people and you remember somebody in your past that was kind of like this person. It's just like recycled tendencies, recycled like, I don't know. So when you just said that, that's what that made me.
You know what it is? There's only so many different personalities out there, and so it's like, you know, that's why horoscopes are like people like believe horoscopes, right? Because if you say things vaguely enough, whatever, there's well, that kind of applies to everybody, and the, you know, and so
no, and there's also personality types. There's
right.
Like a I don't know how many. I don't know, but there's like a list of certain personality types.
Depending on which test you use, but like there could be anywhere from like 4 to 16, right? If you're like a Harry Potter fan, like which house are you in? Oh, you're a Gryffindor, you're Slytherin, whatever. Right. But then like if you use like the what is it, the MMRI or whatever, where it's like oh, are you an INFTJ, or like are you a, you know,
that's
so that there's 16 combinations there. There's 4 different houses in Hogwarts. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, or type A or type B personalities. Like some people are just like, it's like, yeah, there's 2 types of people that group people into groups and people that don't, you know, like that's
just classifications of people.
Right. I like to joke all the time that like, you know, the lottery's a 50-50 shot, right? Because either you win it or you don't, right? There's 1 or 2 outcomes. So,
that's one way to look at it, I guess.
Right. It's so, but that's kind of how it is, right? So there's only so many different kinds of personalities out there, and people might be like, oh, you remind me of this person, but you're also this, or like, you know, and so like there's, you know, mix and match kind of, but a
little bit of everything and everybody. You know? Yeah. Everybody's relatable. We're all human, you know? So I wanted to ask you about the songs that you are going to do today. Or the song that you're going to do today. What song are you going to do today for us?
I'm going to do a song from my first mixtape, actually. It's called Distraction.
Like first mixtape, like back in the day?
No, the first mixtape that came out.
AD. After the break.
Yeah, it's still after the break, but it's a song called Distraction. It's on How It Started, How's It Going? Okay. Or How It's Going, which is the mixtape that I put out last in August. But I wanted to do that because I just feel like it's a song that I have in my repertoire that I don't perform a ton, because I do think that like while I think everyone can relate to the song is about like people who you thought were going to be there for you when you needed them, and then they weren't. They left you on red, or they ghosted you, and it's a song that I feel like really, really passionate about because I had a lot of people like that in my life, people that I thought were gonna be like my ride or dies, and then when the S hit the fan, so to speak, I was like, where are you at? And they're like, I don't know you, and that feeling stuck with me. That and but it also stuck with me for a long time, and it was just like I was like, I need a chance. I need to be able to express that anger and that disappointment. And so that's the idea behind this song. The song is called Distraction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, everybody can relate to that, unfortunately, you know. I also wanted to ask you, because I saw, you know, unfortunately I wasn't there. I didn't get to see your performance, but I saw like pieces of your performance and you're like really crunk, you know, like you're like super hype. And then like, it seems like, when I was kind of, you know, skimming through your page, like it seems like you're a little funny in your songs too. So it's cool because now meeting you, like, yeah, you're pretty funny, right?
Thank you.
But you're also like somewhat serious in the way you put things together, you know? And I guess you kind of have to be, obviously if you want things to work, and especially if you want them to work properly, you know? I mean, look how fast things are working for you. You, like I said, it's been basically a year since you decided to come back in and take this serious. And look at you. You're releasing albums, you're performing, you're winning first place at showcases. So
be deliberate and move with intention.
Yes, you were definitely moving with intention, and you can sense that in your planning, in your just the way you're telling me that you're putting your next album together. Like, when do you expect that one to come out?
Oh, I don't want to throw a release date on it. I would like to be like maybe like mid to late summer. Like okay. I would like maybe 6 months from the last one. So the last one came out February 27th. So maybe like end of August.
Okay.
Like 6 months later. I feel like that's like an appropriate time.
But you're just going with the flow because you don't know who you're gonna meet, who's gonna inspire what, right? So.
Right. But I also, so it's funny. I had a song on the actual album. It's called Challenge Accepted, and the opening line of the song is that I'd rather be prodigious than be prolific. So like I'd rather put out great things than put out a lot of things, and that's how I feel about my albums too. Like if I could write a song a night, I could, you know, but would it be like,
am I gonna love it?
Yeah, am I gonna feel the way about it?
Am I just doing it just to do it?
Right, and so that's kind of how I feel about it. So like, yeah, I would love it to be end of August, but like if it's September or if it's
no
July,
pressure.
You know, yeah, whatever. But that's how I feel.
No pressure. Well, I'm excited to see that. You know, now obviously I'm gonna be following your journey and everything,
Thank
and
you.
especially now that I know more about it. And I don't know, I just think it's cool that you took that step to basically start over, even though it wasn't with you being you know, starting over with the intention of you being the artist again. I just think it's cool that you never let go of your passion and you always listened to it and you kept, you know, navigating towards something in the music. So I'm actually like really excited about this musical. Like, I'm like, I can't wait for it to come out, but I know that it's something that is, you know, a constant work in progress. So I'm happy for you
Thank you.
In like a proud kind of way, you know? Because, you know, I understand that life changes every day, you know?
Man plans, God laughs. That song is also coming soon, I guess, apparently, because I've been saying that a lot recently.
Well, there you go. That's a sign, right? And then, you know, you took your break for family life changes, and now you have an opportunity to kind of like step back into you. Now you have the time to do that again. So, I don't know. I just like, I'm eager to see where it's going to go from here. So like,
me too. Honestly, I really like, I mean, I had, you know, February, March, April, May of last year, I was like one open mic a month because it was all I could find or it was all I knew that I could do, you know, in my area. And I was performing at the Arts Garage in Delray Beach. And then in June, I started coming down to Broward a little bit and exploring a little bit further north in Palm Beach and finding more opportunities. And then in September, I performed at Arts Park at Young Circle in Hollywood.
Okay.
I was a part of South Florida Recovery Network's Recovery Month event that was there, and that was a big stage for me, just like kind of out of nowhere, and just kept grinding, and then
And that's just from you going out hustling and meeting
yeah,
people.
I don't have a manager. I don't have, I have like, it's my team right now is not fortunately or unfortunately is really just myself and, and then whatever networking that I've been able to do. But then
How do you find the events? You just search?
so like I started with like Eventbrite and Google, just like
Okay.
it's like South Florida. Like I performed at the South Florida Fair in West Palm Beach in January, which was wild. But I just was Googling like South Florida talent show, South Florida this, and like I ended up auditioning for that, and I got that spot. And then at the end of January, I had like the first time somebody like paid me to perform. I performed at Propaganda in Lake Worth, and shout out to those guys because they're going through it right now. So and then in May. It's kind of coming full circle. I'm going to be at Arts Park at Young Circle again as a part of this festival called Oxfest, which is like this major festival. Link in my bio if you follow me on Instagram. But there's a huge festival there. There's going to be like 25 to 30 artists that are performing in Hollywood, and it's like year one where like people think they could be like the next Rolling Loud. So it's really like some of the biggest and best, not just hip hop. There's also some
AUX Fest, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it's like the Artists United Experience festival, and there's going to be a fashion show as a part of it, but it's like this big thing. They think like there's going to be 3,000 people there. So it's
Wow,
gonna be
that's
wild.
exciting.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so cool that you're doing this like just like all on your own.
Yeah.
And that you're finding these things on your own. Like you really had some fire just like ignite after like you made the decision like I'm gonna go find producers. Oh no shit, I'm gonna be my own artist. So like I mean obviously again you were an artist before, but the fact that you are like fully 100% gung-ho about doing this, like look at all the things that are coming to you because obviously you're looking for them, you're executing, so like that's something that I feel artists, well just people in general don't do. They either believe in themselves half-ass, that makes them not execute. Like I'm speaking like from experience,
Yeah.
and I think it's admirable that you just said fuck it, I'm gonna go all out.
One of my favorite movies of all time is The Karate Kid,
Okay.
right? And people talk about Mr. Miyagi, the advice he gives Daniel's son, like wax on, wax off, and blah blah blah. One of the lines that gets missed in that movie, to me, is when they first get started. He's like, Daniel's son, you ready? And he's like, I guess so. And Mr. Miyagi's like, no. You walk left side of the road, safe. You walk right side of the road, safe. You walk middle, like grape. You karate yes, or you karate no. You karate guess so, like grape. And that's the idea. Anything that you want to do, if you really want to do it, you either do it or you don't do it. Like, Yoda, do or do not, there is no try, that whole thing. I prefer the Miyagi thing. But that's what this is. This is not, if you want to have fun and just like perform for, 6 people at kava bars and whatever, then, by all means, then
Do that.
Yeah.
That's what you want to
Yeah.
do.
But if you have any intention of making it to the next level and the next level and the next level, then you have to put yourself like really into it, and you have to. Don't be afraid to punch up. Don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone. For me, like I said, like the collab thing, I was so unsure about what it was going to be like bringing another artist in. The first time I did it, this fantastic R&B artist, shout out Fran Lavoie.
Oh my God, I love her. I'm friends with her.
Fran is the hook on my challenge accepted.
No fucking way.
I wrote the song before I even heard Fran sing, and I was like, I need a voice on this. And I saw her perform at the Classic at 10th Level Tavern, and I was like, I think that's my voice. And I approached her and I was like, hey, how would you feel about this? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, and I brought her in the studio, and it was just like, I was so nervous because I'd never worked with another artist before, and if that hadn't gone well, I don't know if any of the other collabs that followed would have.
She probably was a perfect first person.
She was fantastic, and I love Fran to
oh
this
my
day.
God,
Like
that's so
yeah,
cool. Shout out to Fran. We love you, Fran.
Yeah, I go see Fran. Fran comes to see me, so I'm a big Fran fan. And then, but from there, that was kind of like that was what gave me the courage to then reach out to other artists and be like, hey, I know your voice. I think I have a song for you. Would you be interested? And no one has said no. But all of the songs, I'm so happy with every single song on the album. I really like, because when I'm writing it, I hear it in my head, and then I'm like, I'm so afraid when I get to the studio, like, oh, is this gonna sound like the way I want it to sound? And the artist steps in the booth, and I have this moment with every single artist that I brought in. I have this moment where it's like I feel like I got my song. I feel like yes, like that's what I wanted.
Well, that's more reassurance that, you know, trust your instinct
Yeah.
and you're doing the right thing. You're picking the right people. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. I think that's so cool that you know Fran and that
Oh,
she
yeah.
was the person to start that off for you. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's exciting. Now I'm gonna listen to the album anyway, but now I'm gonna listen to it like more excited,
Yeah.
you know? So what can we expect? I mean, I know you got a lot going on right now with all these upcoming shows. What is your ultimate goal with your artistry? Like, do you want to get signed? Do you want to?
Yeah.
You know, you say you're not trying to just do little performances for 6 people at a cover bar. You know, like you obviously want to grow. You want to expand.
So my whole thing is my entire approach to hip hop as a genre, and this is not to poo-poo on any other artist that's doing it any differently, but all of my music is clean, right? So there's no curse words, there's no drug references, there's no sexually explicit lyrics, there's no violence, there's none of that. And it's not to say that like if you do any of those things that like that's wrong.
No, it's just your style.
You're right. But my thought process is first and foremost that, and then second of all, I take a lot of pride in the lyrics as I present them, and then the deeper meanings behind the lyrics. Right. I like to think that like when I write a song, I'm actually writing 2 songs. I'm writing the song that you hear, and then I'm writing the song that you listen to. Right. So when you hear it, you're like, oh, this is a cool song. But then like when you listen to it, maybe you read the lyrics and you like really see like, oh, he chose that word deliberately because it's a homonym, or he like, oh, that's like an Easter egg because it's like he said this one thing in the 3rd verse, but he said this other thing in the first 2 verses that like links it all together. And I do that a lot. A lot of my songs are like that. And so I really want it to be art again. And not just like some mass-produced like whatever, like oh this song's bumping in the club or whatever. Who cares what they're saying, you know? And then you know, like
no substance,
right? And so that's really what I want. And so I don't know if it's eventually that I'm like writing for someone else, or like if you know, because like I'm not.
Have you ever written for? Oh well, yeah, because you were writing music before, right?
Yeah, but I've never like actually like I've never ghostwritten for a song that's like so that other people have heard before. Okay. I have assisted people in the writing process, but
Understood.
I've never like it's not like there's a song out there that like Kendrick is doing that I wrote. Not that
okay, and obviously you've written songs for the people who are singing on your tracks,
right? Yeah, but I didn't write the whole song for them. I just wrote their part of my song. It's still my song. You know, and so but like I don't know necessarily what like the end goal is for me, but I know that I want to try to take it as far as I can.
Okay.
And then I have the musical to fall back on. I have, you know, maybe ghostwriting or whatever to fall back on. I don't know that I'm like going on a world tour this year, but maybe next year.
I mean, who knows?
Right. No.
You probably didn't think you were going to be releasing albums, you know, a year ago.
Yeah, that's true. I probably didn't think that either. So really, I'm trying not to like limit myself by saying like, this is my goal. And once I get there, whatever, you know, the sky's the limit. But I also don't have a specific end goal in mind either. You're
just doing.
Yeah, I know that I don't have a lot of time before it's like, oh man, he's like 60 up there with a walker. Like I'm not trying to be like that. So I'm just trying to, you know, have as much fun as I can and be as successful as I can in the time that I have.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
That's like an inspiration to others right there, you know, because you're going all out, you're doing it right. And then you're just like, you're just doing it, you know? So congratulations to you. I love that for you. You know, one thing I always like to ask my my guests.
Yeah.
What do you want people to hear when they hear your music? Like, what do you want them to leave with?
The first song on my album is called Picture of Me. And that's it. Every single song that I put out, it's like if you close your eyes, you know, like, oh man, that's a Burban Street track, because like I chose every word, every syllable, every enunciation, every cadence, every component of the song is with a purpose. There's some reason behind that, and what I want people to take away when they listen to my music or when they see me perform is like, man, he made a lot of choices, and I can appreciate all of that.
Do you want them to appreciate your thought process, the method of the creation process?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair. I like that because you obviously put your heart into it. And
Yeah.
It's good to be appreciated, right?
You know what it is? It's just, I mean, I think it's a basic human need that people want to be seen or they want to be heard. They want to feel like they matter. And like, that's their legacy. And like, I have a kid, right? That's part of my legacy too.
Mm-hmm.
But like my music, like I'll always leave behind my music and like that could potentially live on too. And so that's the piece of me, the picture of me that I'm leaving behind.
I love that. Now I can't wait to hear that. So, because now that I know like specifically what you said about it, now I'm going to listen to it with a different ear, you know? I'm gonna look for shit, you know? Obviously not shit, like, it's good shit.
No, but like I said, I want you to hear it, but then I also want you to listen to it.
Well, I'm definitely gonna listen to it.
Thank you.
I'm excited to listen to Distracted now.
Distraction.
Distraction. Get it right,
no,
bitch. Get it right.
No.
All right, well, the next question I'm gonna ask. Well, before we get into that last question, I just want to first and foremost thank you, congratulate you for winning.
Thank you
for sharing your whole story from start to finish. You know, I mean, it's never finished. You know, it's not finished.
From
it's a
start
process.
to present.
Correct, from start to present.
There we go.
And just thank you for being you. You know, like that's all you can be, right?
I was gonna say it'd be weird if I was somebody else.
Yeah, that would be a little strange.
I don't even think that hat would fit. So
yeah, no, probably not.
No.
How do you feel? Or is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to say?
I just want to like thank everybody who's been a part of this journey. I would be remiss if I didn't like thank the people that collabed on the album. So again, like shout out to Fran, shout out to Forbes, shout out to Jess Helltrain, shout out to Jazz Decipher. She's on 2 tracks. She was amazing. Too Deep. I love you guys. You were fantastic, and you guys kind of gave me a song back that I thought I would never get recorded. And to Rose, thank you guys so much for being a part of the album. And then thank you to Wesley Otero and Papa Wafer. Like you guys have been like stands from day one. Like the second I hit the floor, you guys were like, oh my god, like what is this? And then obviously a big shout out to Verse One and White Dude, who have just kind of taken me under their wings and been like, we're not gonna let you you should be VIP. We're not gonna let you like perform for small crowds anymore. We're gonna like kind of bring you along. So the people that have helped me and that have been a part of this journey for me, like you guys have been amazing. So thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, and Brooklyn, thank you for the opportunity, man. Thank you for putting me on. Yeah, and Chasm DOG for being a part of that as well. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, you know, when you express gratitude, you always get that back, you know, and more. So thank you for taking the time to thank everybody who has affected or played a part in your journey. Because I think like maybe a couple people have done that. Don't go doing that now. But I'm just saying that's sweet. That's awesome. That's cool.
Thank you.
Well, I enjoyed this whole conversation. Just, you know, getting to know you because I truly didn't know anything about you. And again, I'm proud of you, you know, if that sounds weird. Like, I'm just like, I'm proud of you for like doing what you're doing, you know? I congratulate you, and I'm excited to see where you go.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
It's limitless, really, especially when you hit the ground running the way that you have. So, Spin the Record got eyes on you, man. We're gonna keep supporting you the whole way through.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Nice,
I appreciate it.
Nice. Now I gotta ask you the last question, which is the biggest question.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I mean, I checked my birth certificate. I was born ready.
All right. Well, the question is, are you ready to spin the record?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Give me 5.
Let's go. All right. I'm not flexible enough to like bend.
It's all right. That was good.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Let's do it.
This ain't a diss track, but you disappeared. I can't believe it, we've known each other so many years. But like that, you dropped me like a bad habit. You dropped me just like a nervous magician's hat rabbit. Now I'm a mad carrot. Yeah, aren't you glad we took a stab at it? And then we laughed at it. I shelved my feelings, yeah, I put them in the cabinet. Said we were better as friends, and so I stand patted. I went away for a while, guess it was silly to wait. With all my letters unanswered, I guess there was no debate. I chalked it up to my addy, thought that when I got out, that we could fall back to kicking it, hanging, laughing about. I thought our friendship was solid, I had unshakable faith that you would be there whenever I needed somebody safe. Was so excited to text you, thought that I would be missed. You hit me back with a new phone, who dis? This ain't a diss track, but I'm disillusioned, been disavowed, I'm disapproving of what you're doing. I'm distraught, I'm discouraged, been displaced. I'm filled with disdain, distaste, disgrace. This ain't a diss track, but I've been disposed. Your disloyalty's about to be disclosed. I'm disconnected, I'm disliked, I'm displeased. I'm filled with disbelief that you've been dissing me. This ain't a diss track, but I'm distressed. I can't believe it, how we even get in this mess. I got a big guess, you couldn't handle the company of a man who's on probation taking piss tests. I made a misstep, ended up paying dues. I let the devil on my shoulder tell me what to do. I thought I had it contained, but I was running loose. Thought I was driving the train, but I was a caboose. This ain't a diss track, but I'm disappointed. I had a lot of plans, now I just got misappointments. My phone be vibing and all my boys would be sliding through. Each night we're riding, now ringers on and it's silent too. I'm all alone with my thoughts, hearing crickets. I'm sitting home and I'm questioning my existence. I'm disadvantaged and disabled in this instance. This ain't a diss track, but I feel the distance. This ain't a diss track, but I'm disillusioned, been disavowed, I'm disapproving of what you're doing. I'm distraught, I'm discouraged, been displaced. I'm filled with disdain, distaste, disgrace. This ain't a diss track, but I've been disposed. Your disloyalty's about to be disclosed. I'm disconnected, I'm disliked, I'm displeased. I'm filled with disbelief that you've been dissing me. This ain't a diss track, but don't act so dismissed. You destroyed your life, you wanna be forgive. You wrote 1,000 letters, you got 200 back. You thought you'd keep your friends, thought you were good at math. This ain't a diss track, but you've been discarded, and their absence has left you feeling brokenhearted. We are gathered here today to mourn the passing of the dearly departed. Yeah, the life that you started. This ain't a diss track, but it's disastrous. You watching on the side while everyone moves past us. Think you can catch up? You're not the fastest. You've been deserted, you should get yourself a cactus. This ain't a diss track, well I must disagree. I see you grieving, holding grudges over every beef. Don't take it out on me, you asking for relief. This ain't a diss track, but you weren't discreet. This ain't a diss track, but I'm disillusioned, been disavowed, I'm disapproving of what you're doing. I'm distraught, I'm discouraged, been displaced. I'm filled with disdain, distaste, disgrace. This ain't a diss track, but I've been disposed. Your disloyalty's about to be disclosed. I'm disconnected, I'm disliked, I'm displeased. I'm filled with disbelief that you've been dissing me. And maybe this track's just a distraction. I only put it out to garner a reaction. It's filled with pain and it's filled with passion. This ain't a diss track, it's a call to action.
Hey everybody, shout out to the promoters. Everybody makes my flyer. The most important part right here, do not forget the apostrophe.
This ain't a diss track, but you disappeared. I can't believe it, we've known each other so many years. But like that, you dropped me like a bad habit.